I was in New York City on Monday, May 19th, so I decided to go down and see what was going on outside the federal courthouse during the Diddy trial. I did go later in the day, like around 2:30 p.m. I showed up and there was nobody like related to Diddy that came out. We were hoping maybe we would get a glimpse of somebody or maybe his lawyers. Unfortunately, I did not get a glimpse of anybody related to Diddy, but there were a lot of YouTubers, TikTokers, members of the press. TMZ was there. All the tents you see here across the street are members of the press just camped out. Some of them were doing some recordings for their news station, and others were just waiting to see if they saw anything juicy. And I went out there and I noticed some TikTokers and YouTubers out there. There was Queenzflip. He was out there. He used to have a podcast with Joe Budden, and he is on the Flip the Script podcast. He has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He was very well known, and Loren Lorosa was out there. Here is an interview that Queenzflip did with TMZ.
Last.
I don't like jumping the gun.
Last, right? We're just going to put it out there. Hypothetically, he walks free. Say he walks out. Hypothetically, right? Can he redeem himself? Will you see people seeing him the same? Will they re-embrace him back into the culture? Or are things forever changed?
Maybe we know how that goes right now in today's society. Once you're maimed or something is put on you or you're found guilty of something, even if you walk free, certain stains are unremovable. So I cannot really say if he'll be able to redeem himself, but I will say is that this would be an unremovable stain. I think that if he's happened to get out, I think that laying low and just figuring his life out would be the best recourse or the best action.
Okay, I know I said last. This is the last.
That's too much.
Last. Okay, when it comes to, so we've seen a surge recently in young women coming forward.
Okay.
Asking, for compensation after being assaulted.
Stop that, man. What's wrong with this guy? Yo, you see I'm trying to book, you see, stop, this guy's too.
Well, hold on. Being someone in the industry, do you feel nervous about how you're proceeding, or maybe your kids or your brothers, cousins? Is everyone feeling nervous about how they're dealing with women going forward, given that there's been a lot of allegations, and some people are saying that it's a money grab. Sometimes it's kind of hard for people to decipher whether.
Let me just say this real quick. You're asking me questions on the spot. You're throwing it out there. I have my mom here and I have a daughter. So obviously my answer is going to be what my answer is when it comes to protecting women and how women and being in this entertainment field, right? On the podcast, I do say a lot of things, or I play devil's advocate a lot, but when you have a mother that's in your life and you have a daughter, you have to look at them every day. My stance is to protect them and protect women. And that's where I leave that at. I can't really get into any details and stuff like that because it becomes a little tricky and muddy. Then people gonna go back and say, well, you said this, Flip, you said that, we listened to the pod. I don't feel like dealing with that, to be honest. But protect women, number one, and stuff like that, especially in this industry. I think that, shout out to my brother Mark Lamont Hill, who's also a co-host, who says that we have to go into the situation believing what women say or go through, because there's a lot of things out there that it's against women, like women are like either outnumbered or the industry are really against them. So I try to have a clear vision and a clear view when it comes to judging, commenting on these things. I don't want to be insensitive because my comments, my experience and how I grew up can come off insensitive because based off my experience, but I don't want to do that. I learned that there's a bigger world than just me and Queenzflip mind. So protect women and protect everyone, and I just, like I said, when I listen and when I read the trial, I'll be able to answer properly accordingly.
I appreciate it.
Stop doing those trick questions.
Thank you. No, it's
stop doing that. Because you know I'm not good at that. You know I'm not good at that.
Well, I appreciate your time.
You know I'm not, and I should have knew. You know I'm not good at that.
You know what she said.
In front of my mom.
We go way back.
In front of my mother, we go.
I know her since she was this small.
What's up?
All right,
I think that went well. Good answers.
Stop doing that, man. No, you know, get out of here.
I want to introduce you. No introduction. He was on the live with me for 5 hours.
I met you. I met
5 hours.
In Queens.
Okay.
You forgot?
My son was telling me you met me in Queens.
I met him in Queens for like a brief second. It was a big concert, Jamaican. You Jamaican?
Yes, Jamaican and Haitian.
Haitian.
Wait, which one?
I'm Haitian.
She's Haitian.
Oh, the daddy's Jamaican.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican too.
Okay, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, he told my son told me because you thought you was academics. He said, nah, that's the guy we said.
He saw. All right, we got no introduction. She been here. The one of our most popular features, Mama Flip, and then Queenzflip is here as well. What brought you down here today, Queenzflip?
Man,
come on, man. You know Gene Deal was here, right?
No.
Yeah,
where is he?
Gene Deal is around here somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, he's down here. He came out, he went back in.
What brought me down here? Just seeing what's going on outside. I'm with my son JR. You know, we're filming and everything. I'm just seeing what's going on outside.
So what's your take on the whole Diddy situation?
I don't have a take.
This next person here speaking is Loren Lorosa. She's a YouTuber. She used to work with TMC.
Environment of that some of the people you actually see wanted to see saw it on video and she found similar circumstances that would create a fear or an ability for him to make divorce or speech. I think that's so I think it's one of those things, and I think that's why for me it's hard to be like this side, that side. I did that the first couple days and then things kept changing. You get the same information from prosecution and defense and then it just changes. So now I'm just like, man, it's like the pieces of the puzzle they're putting it together.
Recap, exactly. Your own recap there. Cause I be seeing you.
I don't think that he is going to walk. I'm hearing at face value now that my work is like I don't know the weight of what that would be, what that would look like because it's so early. But right now, my prediction is it's not going to work.
He in the room, big singers, all that class looking in the whole hallway. You come inside the room, you do an investigation. You don't ask the man in the room nothing. He's sitting there like Humpty. You don't ask Humpty nothing. Why he on the wall or nothing? So Brian's still like, yo, why you didn't ask the man nothing? But bro, where? You see Jules? She said, they asked her, do you like freaking Uncle Jules? I said, did you like to have sex with Jules? She said, she laughed. This is one of the only times you heard her laugh.
Oh, yeah, my friend, my crazy friend. She's all my female friends. I love them. They, you know, I don't judge. We don't judge. We watch it. We don't judge.
Good to meet you, Mom Gosh.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
I'm so caught up. Working so hard, you guys.
It seems as if that you out there, she doing years. He said they end up getting a little friendship, and she rather deal with Jules than some random person allegedly that Diddy probably picked because she was picking guys on Craigslist and off Backpage that person. Think about it. If you and I had a Craigslist ad, Cassie, it's me and you. Hold on. If I had a Craigslist, I'll be waiting. Cassie, then I wanna chill. Let me chill. Gotta have the oil on my coat now. Let me leave. Sorry, Diddy. I love you. I love you. Still run the city, Diddy. Chill, Diddy. You know you run the city. But you gotta look. Diddy, you're gonna have to stay over there in the corner, homie. Don't let me know Diddy was. I would've had to run down on Cassie. I love Cassie. That's why I supposed to went back in to see how Cassie Mom's was. Because I seen Terry Morgan already. Don't need to see him again. I want to see if Cassie got a little stronger. Cassie Mom's. I've been waiting. Hold up. Sit over the wait, mama. I might have to go above her head, above her pay grade. I mean, get mommy auntie. Might have to get mommy auntie. She got the 10 from who only need about 500 K. And I'm straight. I ain't one of them ones. I'm gonna turn 500 K. I used to do the other thing back in the day when I came my life. But boom.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do.
What is it?
Loren Lorosa TV.
Okay, thank you.
I'm like, why am I saying more about what she saw? So you have to like, wait, your story's changing. So you have to depend on you telling us what you saw. When realistically, these things are coming so long. And I think that today's things where they were all having a hard time remembering because it was so bad. So I feel like that kind of made the prosecution's it made the prosecutions like their aim and their focus, but then it also made the defense look a bit weak as well too, because they then brought prosecution brought another witness that the defense needed a lot to try and verify things, to try to clear his involvement in certain things that get her hired from Cassie, and she was having the same problems on her, which is remembering things because of the amount of time that it's been since they had to live these things. So it was all over the place. They just made clear that like this is almost just gonna by prosecution and defense, like don't take this at face value for it being not credible. Let's think about everything that was involved, which is what they did a lot with Cassie. I think it was easier for people to feel that with Cassie.
These are the barriers they had set up in front of the courtroom to make sure nobody got too close to the courthouse, because court was going on at this time. Diddy, his family, and friends were all there. Like I said, I didn't get to see any of them, but they did have a pass set up for anybody leaving the court so they could get out, and they would have all the police officers surround people who were leaving the courthouse. I just did not see anybody that I knew was related to Diddy or involved with Diddy, because I got there 1 hour before court ended. I wish I would have got there earlier, but I just had to work with the time I had. My trip to New York was just short and sweet. I guess there was some drama that popped off in front of the courthouse earlier that day when somebody showed up and was pretty much just trolling with everybody. This was a fun and interesting experience. I'm very glad I ended up going. I just wish I would have went earlier. And I do apologize for the camera quality. It was hard at times because there's people constantly walking past me. So I was constantly having to move out of the way the whole time I'm trying to record and film. And also I just kind of wanted to make sure I was looking around at my surroundings to make sure I didn't miss anybody leaving the courthouse or anything possibly going on around the courthouse, because there was just a lot going on. This was my first time doing this, and I definitely see mistakes I made with angles and shaking the camera and moving the camera so much. So I did take mental notes of all that and will improve in the future. But let me know what you guys think. This is day 6 of the Diddy trial. I did end up taking the subway back and ended up going like 40 minutes out from my destination and got lost. So I had to get a lift and spend like an extra $60 to get back to my hotel. It was a mess. And this right here is all of the press across the street. They had ABC News there. They had TMZ there. They had the Shade Room there. They had news stations from outside of the country. There was a news station from Australia there. It was definitely a madhouse there. It wasn't as bad as they said it was like earlier in the day. So I kind of got there when it was starting to kind of die down a little bit, but it was still pretty crazy. They had a park across the street where people were playing and working out, and they had a bathroom there, so that was nice and convenient. But that is it for my Diddy vlog, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much.
What's up? What happened? I got you. You want balls or shorts? I got you a front.
Oh my God.
Where you was?
That's cool. I was upstairs. No, I came out. I've been outside since y'all got out. I came out the courtroom. I was like, nah, I want to leave at 3. I said I wanted to leave by 3. So I left. Give me 1 second.
This side.
I'm gonna wait over there. Yeah, yeah. Somebody's in the chat.